Hello everybody, it's Lustif here with a quick commentary, or not so quick, depending on the size of the video. Anywho, today I got a few subjects to talk about, such as this whole Kony issue, 12 gauge frag, how to assert and mix around with different gun types in close quarter combat such as TDM. For one, TDM's gameplay style resembles Call of Duty in a way. It is not as intense as Call of Duty would be, not saying it is, but it happens to fluctuate upon the ways of combat such as Call of Duty, you know, very close quarters, you know, up in your face kind of combat, and that's not a bad thing, but it's definitely free kills if you're an experienced Battlefield player and you know what what the hell you're doing. Otherwise, you know, you just run around in the open and try to find kills. Either way, things work. 90% of the people who do play this game mode happen to be noobs or are very, very noobish. I wouldn't know. Half the guys in this lobby are not even a colonel yet. Oh, well, that's pretty much the whole subject there with this game mode. It's fun, versatile, and much or less very close quarters. That's one thing there. As for this whole 12 gauge frag issue, I think it should be nerfed a lot sooner. It should have been nerfed months ago, to tell you the truth. It is a good assertment for the gun. It is a good, you know, use. But the thing is, it's overused. The way I saw the 12 gauge frag, I saw it as a weapon to clear out a room full of people trying to spawn trap you or camp you out and hold down that position. That was the way I saw it. And honestly, I just think, you know, yeah, that's the only use this gun has. Other than that, it's, you know, overpowered, it's abusive, and that's that. Although I have used it once or twice at long range. But either way, the gun is still overpowered because it shouldn't be able to hit you from half a map. Thankfully, the nerf is coming and we won't have to hear anything more about the USAS 12 gauge frag. Now, on to the bigger subject. This Kony issue, you know, people are starting to tell me they've known about the invisible children for... Really, you don't say. If that's the case, how come you never told me this before? How come you never happened to say anything interesting about Africa back then? Now that you see this in mainstream news on a video on YouTube made by a company, you seem to care of an issue like this? I'm sorry, but to me, it's just a load of bullshit. Like, sure, it may seem insensitive, but don't get me wrong, Kony should be stopped. Yeah, but as a corporation, you're only doing half of the job, Supply. Anywho, if you're only doing half the job, you should at least try to make sure you do the rest of the job. Start with Kony, start with the followers, start with everybody else that's trying to imitate him. This Kony issue is going to take more than just those 9 years this so-called company has put into. And a $30 kit times 36 million views, you're making money. My friend told me that money goes to them and all this other stuff, and I honestly think it's bullcrap, because if they're a non-profit organization, where does that money go? Into the kids, the Ugandan kids, helping them out? So you're telling me you're going to give away 36 million views worth of $30. I can't even sum up the money. It should easily be within the 100 millions. You're going to give away all that money to Uganda, knowing that this economy that we live in today in America is pretty much crumbled. In other words, I'm sorry, but this, Kony issue is a big scam. It's a big fraud, in my opinion. I'm not saying he shouldn't be taken out of power, he shouldn't be removed, but there's issues like this in Uganda, Angola, Zimbabwe, Sierra Leone, Somalia, you name it. It's all over Africa. It's been happening for 26 years, and just taking out one guy isn't going to stop the rest of it from happening. There's sex traders in Sweden. There is these issues in Norway as well, and in many other parts of the world. In the third world as well. Countries like Venezuela, Cuba, Peru, Lima, a whole bunch of places. And, I'm just here thinking to myself, none of these countries would be in this situation if it wasn't for America taking over and being a consumerist nation. A lot of these places would be in a better place, and a lot of these places wouldn't be. There's pros and cons to these certain things. Their pros is, those people that live there are actually doing something about it. They're trying, and the rebel army supposedly gives the same people protection, but at the same time they abuse the trust within the people, and when that happens, they become prisoners and hostages. The contras are the fact that those same people they're abusing of are eventually going to end up being in the army and do the same shit over and over again. So you have a continuous cycle, and it's not going to change at all. If you want to do a change, actually look up the facts you're doing. Actually look up the information before blindly supporting a new Facebook sensation. That's what it is. Let's face it. How many statuses have you seen on your Facebook newsfeed about Kony 2012? This or that, or at least the kit. It's like 2 days ago, no one knew who the fuck this guy is. And I'm honestly gonna say it. And now they want to care. You can see a very pretty much well-edited video about a corporation. But this is the thing. This exact same corporation doesn't support or condone anything with the Ugandan army's way of doing things. And the Ugandan army does the same thing the people that support Kony, the Kony loyalists, do themselves. They extort, rape, and do shit with children. In Africa, that shit's perfectly legal. So, I'm over here. Oh, look at me. I got this fucker through the fucking fence. Woohoo. Anywho, in Africa, this shit is perfectly normal. It happens on a daily basis, and no one seems to care. So, tell me something. Since when did you happen to become a fan of a certain issue that was never in the mainstream news, never on the online news, never in blogs, and never really much of a big deal in the American eye? Obama sent supposedly this country, or, well, not country, better said, this corporation, a letter that it simply says, we're going to send a small squad and deal with this issue. To me, if he gets this guy, it's going to be looking like another political campaign. It's like, yeah, I took out Osama, I took out Kony, bring it on. We killed Gaddafi too. That's 3 guys. Who else needs to die? Obama's running this shit, basically, is what he's going to say in this campaign. That's just another way for the politics to win once more. And honestly, I'm starting to think everything is more and more involved with money nowadays. Because, let's face it, if there wasn't money implemented into this little video of 30 minutes you happen to see, there wouldn't be a video. There wouldn't be a Kony story. This whole Jacob story wouldn't really be that big of an issue to many other people, other than the very same people who knew about it and felt sorry for it. I'm not saying I shouldn't feel sorry for it, or anyone else shouldn't. It's a horrible thing that should be stopped. Once again, let me clarify that. But if you're going to attack the problem, make sure you attack it with a message, a stronger one, may I add. Attack it from all sides, and make sure it doesn't happen ever again there. You may root out all the weeds, but within a week's time, you're going to have another dictator, another evil asshole, much less somebody else that wants to take over the world. And with this, my friends, I think I pretty much clear out the commentary. Just wish people knew a little more what they're getting themselves into. You march to the beat of the drum and not know what beat the drum is playing. You're basically just going in head first at something, all knowing the fact that you're blind at it. It's like, come on, wake up, America. You guys know better than this. I'm not trying to change your viewpoint, but I'm just trying to say something very easily said. If you're going to know something or do something about a revolution or start something, at least do your facts, find out things about it, and support it that way. Don't try to support something blindedly. That's all the time I have to say for this commentary, guys. Hopefully a new one will happen soon. If you guys like this, rate it, subscribe, you know, be nice. I might bring out new content soon.